Leon Schuster is undoubtedly one of the most successful South African entertainers of all time. He broke multiple records in the film industry, has won several high achievement awards, was the most searched filmmaker on Google in South Africa in 2025, and signed massive deals with international media companies like Disney. However, Leon watched his whole life come crashing down when Showmax suspended his movies for being intentionally racist.
I find it very difficult to believe that there's a bunch of American movies that are very racist. So why they must remove mine, I don't know.
On top of that, he was receiving death threats from passionate movie critics who hated how his films portrayed black people. And with the current net worth of $3 million, you would likely think that Leon Schuster is living his best life. But unfortunately, he also suffers from depression, loneliness, and is basically imprisoned inside of his own bedroom because of a severe life-altering medical condition, which forced him to retire from the entertainment industry in the most physically painful way. Before being rich and famous, Leon Schuster was a normal student at Jim Fouché High School. Upon passing his matric, he went to the University of Free State to study for a Bachelor of Arts, and after graduating, Leon went back to his previous high school to become a teacher, while at the same time still trying to pursue a career in the entertainment industry. In 1975, he applied for a job at SABC and was eventually hired as an Afrikaans radio producer. This included segments where Leon Schuster would make prank calls to random people and also dressed up in costumes in order to cause chaos at the studio.
Judge, I want to... You can't do this. Huh? You can't... Please leave my studio. You know, please leave my studio. I just want to talk to the people. Frik, wie sê die man? Wie sê die man, Frik?
Leon Schuster.
Leon, wat gaan aan jou?
Ons het jou 'n bietjie gat geskeur vanoggend. Jy's nie regtig op die lig.
With the success at radio, he transitioned to the film industry by releasing his first ever movie called You Must Be Joking, where he would disguise himself into different characters to prank random people in the public, while there's hidden cameras to capture their reaction.
What are you doing? Hey! What are you doing, you idiot? I told you, you got a license.
I'm sorry about
You got a license. Look at this.
I'm sorry.
Man's gonna move you, man.
I'm sorry about this.
He's gonna move you.
Clutch
There's
slip.
no clutch slipping here. You should have waited for me. I said I'm gonna open the bloody door, man.
I'm sorry about this.
Are you
but
stupid?
You want to sell me a car that a clutch slip
You're
in?
gonna-
Despite getting mixed reviews of 5.8 stars out of 10, Leon continued to produce a sequel, You Must Be Joking 2, that ended up making 43 million rands worldwide at the box office. Following this was a series of other comedy films like Oh Shucks is Schuster, Oh Shucks Here Comes Untag, Sweet and Short, and There's a Zulu on My Stoep, which became a fan favorite. Therefore becoming the highest grossing South African film in South Africa's box office history, and also well favored by fans in Eastern Europe. Additionally, in 1995, during the Rugby World Cup hosted in South Africa, Leon Schuster released an album called Here Comes the Springboks, which won an award for the best-selling CD of the year at the South African Music Awards and was later certified double platinum. Though unfortunately, even with all that success, Leon Schuster's personal life behind closed doors was falling apart as he divorced his wife, Leon Schuster, in 1999, but that didn't stop him from going into one of the biggest movie runs of all time. In 2001, Leon Schuster released a comedy movie called Mr. Bones, which goes like this. After surviving a plane crash as an infant, a little white boy is adopted by an African tribe living in the wilderness, where he grows up to become a traditional healer called Mr. Bones. Meanwhile, the king of the tribe is in a desperate situation where he needs a biological son to take over his kingdom after he dies, but he keeps having daughters instead.
This time, I'll produce you a male child.
Talk is cheap. I've heard the same story 6 times.
And fast forward 35 years later, the king is still having the same problem.
17 children, and not one of them is son. Why?
After this, the king then asked Mr. Bones to predict the gender of his next child, only for him to find out that the king already has a son with a black American woman who had once traveled to Africa as a tourist. Nevertheless, Mr. Bones is then sent on a mission to go out into the world to find the king's son and bring him back home. To which then the movie switches to introduce an American professional golfer and his coach, who both later would go on to have encounters with Mr. Bones. And believing that the golfer is the king's lost son, Mr. Bones tries everything in his power to bring him back to the kingdom. On the other hand, the coach is left searching for the golfer while causing chaos to the locals, not knowing that he is the actual son that Mr. Bones is looking for.
You my son?
No kidding.
You were married?
Released in November 2001, Mr. Bones became one of Leon Schuster's most successful films, with the Variety article stating, making the achievement more noteworthy is that Mr. Bones was up against big-budget blockbusters such as Harry Potter and The Lord of the Rings during the South African summer season. More specifically, Mr. Bones generated 2.9 million rands domestically within the first 3 days of its release, with that figure becoming 33 million rands just 1 year later, which was more than Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Even though it was the highest grossing South African film at the time, just 3 movies later, Schuster broke his own record with Mr. Bones 2 grossing at 35 million rands. In 2012, after filming the movie Mad Buddies, Leon Schuster signed a marketing and distribution deal with Disney to make the movie international, which would have been a huge achievement if his movies were not always considered intentionally racist. For example, in 2009, an academic lecturer from the University of Wits wrote a monologue that read, "To this day, Schuster uses comedy to conceal his motives, that is, to negatively define black people through laughter." Furthermore, Mr. Bones, released in 2001, also plays on the idea of the white race as the savior of black people. In engaging with Schuster, it has been clear that racist ideologies such as that of white supremacy are still alive and well. Even though the movie There's a Zulu on My Stoep was massively successful internationally, it was also harshly reviewed by movie critics. TV Guide called it a Home Alone copycat. Movie Guide said that the movie thinks lightly of criminal activities, with Variety also writing, "Little interest is shown in modulating or keeping the events vaguely within the realms of possibility." And after the release of Mad Buddies, a movie critic from Sowetan wrote, "Schuster is a film criminal and he deserves to be dead by camera because there's no record of him attending film school to learn his craft," before adding, "Well done on Mad Buddies, bro. The script and the production are not too shabby, but bro, please lose the racial touch in your next project. It's a tiring subject, okay? Think out of the racial box for a change, please." To which Leon Schuster responded, "My films are for the people, not for the critics. Critics only write for other critics, and one said I should be shit." Furthermore, during the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, the streaming service Showmax removed a lot of Leon Schuster's movies, including Mama Jack, citing that the films might be potentially offensive to black people. For instance, in the movie called Panic Mechanic, there's a scene where Leon Schuster is painted as a black man and says,
Fine, I'm okay,
Hey,
thank you.
bro, you look stressed out. Man, what's your problem?
You know what really stresses me out? You people. Now, you cameraman.
And also, there's a part where he says the word "gafa," which means a chief electrician in a film or television production unit, but the public took it as Leon wanting to say the K word.
I didn't ask you for the tripod, I asked the gaffer for the lights here, okay? Ons moet bietjie dink. Gaffer! Gaffer!
You talking to me?
Gaffer!
You talking to me?
Can you hear that I'm talking to you, you dumb, stupid devil?
No one said that to me and gets away with it.
With many years of doing stunts and taking punches and slaps from other people, Leon Schuster's body consequently became more fragile and caused him serious medical issues. As in 2023, during the making of the third installment of Mr. Bones, Leon Schuster fell off a van and severely injured his back while filming, prompting him to be rushed to the hospital where he was operated. And after the surgery, he appeared to be in stable condition and recovering, with people visiting him at the hospital. However, because back surgeries usually also come with bladder complications, in May 2024, Leon Schuster woke up from his sleep to go to the toilet, not realizing that he had accidentally peed on the floor, and as a result, he slipped on his own urine and injured his back again. Explaining in an interview, "I got up confused and wanted to go to the toilet, but I had no idea where I was. I got up, wet my pants, stepped in the urine and fell on my back. Then I felt tremendous pain. I felt as if they could cut my back and give the bones to the dogs. I just laid there and screamed." Therefore, in late 2025, Leon was scheduled to undergo another operation, but first, he has to lose 15 kilograms to ensure that he doesn't suffer more complications. He further added, "The doctor told me he can only take away 50% of my pain. It's a very delicate operation, and if any mistake is made, it can have severe consequences." He also opened up about his mental health, saying, "You look for company, you don't want to be alone. If no one visits me, I sit on my stoop and think about life, which is not a good thing. One should be busy. I'm a hermit trapped in my house. I can't drive myself, I can't fly. The walls of my house are my company and loneliness, my friend."
This is actually so sad. So Leon Schuster, the most famous South African comedian of all time, has revealed that he actually struggles with severe depression. He said in a recent interview that he struggles with loneliness. He even said that his biggest fear in life is that he will die alone. Isn't it just heartbreaking?
Following this, in August 2025, MultiChoice quietly lifted their suspension on Leon Schuster's movies, allowing them to return to DStv and Showmax after removing them from its platforms for alleged racial insensitivity. These include movies like Sweet and Short, Oh Shucks It's Schuster, You Must Be Joking, You Must Be Joking Too, Shucks Payback the Money, Frank and Fearless, Mr. Bones 2, and Mama Jack. 2 months later, he was honored with the special award at the National Film and TV Awards of South Africa, as well as given a Lifetime Achievement Award and crowned as South Africa's King of Comedy. Many fans are also wishing for one last movie from Leon Schuster, with Trevor Noah also giving him his flowers on his podcast.
Yes, Leon Schuster's amazing. Don't slander Leon Schuster on my podcast,
It's not
guys.
slander.
And guys, don't let anyone.
I had to go learn.
Let anyone step into my world and slander Leon Schuster. I saw South Africans slandering that man a few years ago. I was like, yo guys, if I was here, I would have fought for that man. But the way Leon Schuster exposed racism in South Africa,
Man.
that man went as an
He could have
Indian.
angered people without being a person of color.
Yes,
But he chose
He
that.
went as an Indian, and then people are like, it's blackface. What? No, it wasn't black. He was in disguise. There's a difference. Blackface is mocking a person for their race. This man went in disguise. Leon Schuster, for me, was one of the most informative experiences I had about South Africa.
It was
because I was
deeply
like,
educational.
because I was like,
Even though Leon Schuster's movies were often criticized for racial insensitivity, fast forward today, more than 4 of his movies are now used at universities as case studies for academic students. However, recently he shared how difficult his life has been after multiple surgeries, saying, "It feels like a kind of hell that has been multiplied over the years. There's no way out for me but to take painkillers every day of my life. I've been to 3 neurosurgeons who told me that they can't operate where other doctors have already operated, because if they make a mistake and the damage is even worse, they can be blamed. I already had a knee replacement for my left knee years ago. Now it looks like I might have to have a second knee replacement." He also revealed that he's unable to enjoy outdoor activities and that sometimes his friends visit him to watch rugby, but after the match, he goes straight to bed because his back becomes incredibly painful after sitting upright on the couch for 90 minutes, which is ironically sad. How someone who spent his entire life making comedy movies to make the whole country laugh and smile is now spending his old years in severe chronic pain and isolation.